It's already illegal to vote if you're not a citizen.
Why not just say if you cheat and steal and you're illegally voting, you go to jail? Oh my goodness, what a concept.
That's already the law. Right. Go ahead, Tess.
That's a jaw-dropping number. Where'd all those people come from?
Well, it made my jaw drop too when I saw it. We were in Social Security looking for fraud, waste, and abuse. And to do that, we actually looked at the enumeration system, the system by which people get numbers in America. And we found that there were just about 5+ million of them that came to the country as illegals, were giving various forms of parole or allowed in the country, and they got through an automatic system, Social Security numbers, so they get into our benefit systems. And we tracked that through and found that they were on the benefit programs. And just because we were curious, we then looked to see if they were on the voter rolls. And we found in a handful of cooperative states that there were thousands of them on the voter rolls and that many of them had voted.
It's already illegal to vote if you're not a citizen.
Why not just say if you cheat and steal?
It's already illegal. Okay. Right? Since it's already illegal, Abby, Phillips, it's illegal to break into somebody's home, right? So why even put a door up? Why not just leave your door wide open? How about you leave the windows wide open too? Because it's illegal, you know? So of course nobody's gonna do it. You shouldn't put up any safeguards at all whatsoever to ensure that nobody breaks into your home, right? Because it's illegal, of course, Abby. It's illegal. Same thing with your car. It's illegal to steal somebody's car, so just leave your keys and your door wide open. Like, don't even shut the door, just leave it open. What's the point? It's illegal. It's already illegal. No need to take any extra steps to make sure that it doesn't happen. Their argument is so silly, man. So silly. But I want to talk about this a little bit more because what's going on is quite interesting. And it seems like Nick Shirley, big shout out to Nick Shirley, has uncovered something quite interesting. And we're going to hop into it. I have another clip as well from, I believe it's McCracker. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. But anyway, before we get into that, I do want to play this clip from a Michigan House committee meeting where a gentleman is describing exactly what we've been talking about and what Democrats have been saying never happens. Check it out.
These was absentee voters. We obtained a list of people that they had sent ballots to, that the ballots returned but still voted. So that raised our suspicions. So what we did was we obtained this list, and what we found out is that it was no way people was voting absentee because they never sent ballots or applications to the overseas address for them to return it. They actually listed that they sent the actual ballots to the Detroit addresses versus the overseas address, but a ballot was still cast and they not. It's no way they cast a ballot for a person in Germany when they sent the ballot to the west side on 7 Mile. There's no way that person voted from Germany. And it's right here, you can see Mary Elaine Beckman. She was voting out of a house that was full of immigrants. They couldn't even speak no English when we went to the house. No lie. They couldn't even talk to us in English. They was all living in this house. They didn't know no Mary Elaine Beckman. Now, we do understand that you do not have to live at that residence when you move overseas. The current residents do not have to know you. We understand all that. But the law also say that must be your last address when you moved overseas. That wasn't her last address, and you must get the ballot sent to you overseas. There's no way you can vote when the ballot came to you in Detroit.
So basically what he was describing there was an absentee ballot situation where individuals were overseas, but the ballot was sent to address in Detroit. And that ballot was cast from that Detroit address, but the person was overseas. So how did they vote when they were overseas and the ballot got sent to Detroit? That person did not vote. On paper, they voted, but in real life, they didn't actually vote. They didn't fill out that ballot. Somebody else did. And you know, with all of this going on, it's quite crazy when you really think about it, because with all of this happening and going on, so we still won, which says a lot. Says a whole lot. If Democrats can't win, even though they cheat, that tells you everything you need to know. That tells you everything you need to know. That tells you how much propaganda we are under. When you got, Trump bad, Trump terrible, Republicans terrible. Oh my goodness, Republicans are going to lose the midterms, blah, 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 which we were all getting before this past election, mind you. And then you have this type of stuff going on, and we still won. Mainstream media being in the back pocket, and we still won. Just saying, don't be discouraged by what I'm about to show you. Be encouraged. Because even with all of this, once again, it's not Kamala Harris that's sitting in that White House. It's Uncle Trump. Let's take a view of Nick Shirley's video, a little bit of it. Check it out.
We're just looking for these individuals as they're registered to vote here. John Thomas and Philip Thomas. Is Gloria here by chance? Because she's 100 years old and she voted last election from here.
Can you see my? I said I want.
I just want to make sure you're not 126 years old.
No, I'm not.
And do you think it's possible like illegal migrants could be voting?
Not really.
Do you know where the ballots might have gone? Like for 108 people, that were registered here?
When it comes to fraud, most people think about money. However, there's another potential massive fraud story taking place in America, one tied to the most consequential system in our country, which is our voting system. This has to do with everything about who runs the country and how elections are actually controlled. And if we don't have voter integrity, what even are we? And there's one state that is the breeding ground for potential voting fraud, and that is California, where it can take up to 1 month to count all of the votes, no voter ID, and millions of ballots are cast by mail. And with voter rolls that are extremely vulnerable to errors, such as over 200 people who are over the age of 125 years old registered to vote in certain areas. And now to see how easy it is to vote, I headed to the location to register to vote inside the state of California.
First off, we need voter ID. Second, voting should be a one-day thing. If you can't finish your count within 24 hours, it won't count. It shouldn't count. Or whatever you've counted to that point. Nah, because then they would just count all Democrat votes. I was going to say, whatever you've counted up to that 24-hour mark, that's all you get to count. But then what would happen is Democrat states would only count Democrat votes up until that 24-hour mark, and they'd be like, well, we never got to the Republicans, sorry, kind of thing. Or at least what they thought would have been Republican votes, and they'll figure out a way to do stuff like that, like they did in California, where they had and I showed you guys the video clip where the envelope that you would stick your ballot in, it like had like a cutout to where they could see kind of what you voted for. Goodness gracious, man. These folks with all of this, man. Dirty scoundrels, man.
Now this is the register of voters right here. And I want to ask them, why don't you need voter ID to vote here inside of California? I was curious, how come in California you don't need voter ID to vote?
Because when you sign your affidavit, you're swearing that you're telling us the truth, and we compare the signature that you put on your application to the
battery 65%.
Do you think it leaves any room for error with voter ID, or? Yeah, I'm just like curious because I want to make sure that like our elections are as fair and honest as possible, and I feel like voter ID is just something super simple to have. And do you think it's possible like illegal migrants could be voting?
What's showing their ID?
Yeah, if they don't have their ID and they could just sign on behalf of Richard Sherman, then they could technically vote, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but what?
You see what I mean? You literally can't make this stuff up. Yeah, but then they would be lying. As if nobody lies. What a new concept, guys. People actually lie. My goodness. It's almost as if she just discovered that people actually lie. Goodness gracious.
What if they just don't care? What if like Richard Sherman and Billy Bob Joe just don't care? But so you don't think illegals would ever vote, would you?
I don't think so.
No. So instead of showing your ID, you sign your signature and then it is scanned to verify it is you. So technically speaking, anyone could show up saying they are someone, and if the signature is similar, that vote will then count. And with millions of people voting, it leaves room for fraud to occur. Just take these two examples.
A Southern California woman is facing 5 felonies after registering her dog to vote in 2 elections. The dog's vote was even counted in one of those elections. Those behind the stunt say she did it to show the flaws of the current system.
Golly. It's funny, but it's not funny at the same time. Like, this is a super serious situation, but bro, she registered her dog and voted. And it actually counted. And they tell us, the Democrats tell us, no fraud is going on. No fraud is going on. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. When somebody can register a dog and vote and it actually count in an election, yeah, there's a major problem there. Major problem. Major problem. Like, what? All right. Now, I want to show you guys this other clip from a gentleman, like I said, by the name of McCracker. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Or actually, this is from McCracker.com, I guess. I don't even know who this guy is. Who is this guy? I don't know. If anybody knows who this gentleman is, let me know in the comments. But it's from, I just randomly, okay, so it's from this account here. I'm going to throw it up on the screen. There you go. It's from this account. Now, I want to show y'all this, man. Y'all have to see this because he goes in and attempts to register to vote as a Canadian citizen, and take a listen to what happens.
It seemed like before you were about to accept my voter registration form, even though I told you I was a green card holder.
I'm just a green card holder. Like, so you're not going to report me if I do this? Because
No. We accept anything that comes over the counter. You know, we have people who come in here and they have legal situations and they register, they weren't a citizen, boom, 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 so.
How often do things like that happen? Right now, I'm in front of 200 Varick Street in New York City, New York, and inside this building on the 10th floor is an office of the New York City Board of Elections. Now, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to pose as a non-citizen Canadian green card holder.
I'm a green card holder from Canada.
And I'm just going to see how far I can get in the voter registration process. So, let's see what happens.
So I talked to a gentleman before and he said he could help me with registering to vote. It's my first time. So what do I have to show you guys?
Everything you fill out, you swear in an affidavit that everything you're putting down is true, and that's it. Can I have a seat, fill it out?
Oh, got it, okay. I'm a green card holder from Canada.
Okay, yeah, you gotta be a citizen. I wouldn't fill it out.
You wouldn't fill it out?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta be a citizen to fill it out.
Notice that he doesn't tell me it would be illegal to complete the application as a non-citizen, only that he doesn't recommend it. From here, things get even more concerning.
The reason why somebody told me that they were a green card holder and that they came in and then they submitted and they were good.
We can't stop you from submitting the application, and if it goes through, but most likely, because they don't do like a full background check, but once in a while, you know, we have people who come in here and they have legal situations and they register, they weren't a citizen, boom, 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 so.
This is a direct admission that non-citizens are in fact registering to vote, something that many claim is a conspiracy theory.
All right, here's the deal. To be honest with you, I'm really against everything that's going on right now, and I'm trying to do my part. So, like, Do you mind if I fill this out, or like, is it okay with you?
It's up to you. That's like, I can't tell you what to do. If you want to fill it out, fill it out. But everything is clearly stated, especially at this bottom. It says American citizen. So I'm just letting you know. If you fill that out and you're not, you know, if it comes back to you, it comes back to you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But we accept anything that comes over the counter. You know.
But you're not going to report me or something like that?
No, I'm not. No, we don't report anyone. Whoever fills that application out comes to us.
But I'm just a green card holder. Like, I don't want to get. So you're not going to report me if I do this? Cause
no, I'm not. No, I'm not. That's not my job to report anyone. My job is just to collect the application and put it and submit it to the department.
Under New York election law, Section 17106, any election officer who willfully violates any provision of the election law relative to the registration of electors is guilty of a felony. It would be a criminal offense for this worker to process my voter registration after I admitted to being a non-citizen.
Can I take this with me? Is that okay?
Yeah, take one of these. Yeah, you take that, or take another.
Okay. But just to be clear, if I do this, you will be able to submit it for me, not a problem.
Yeah, we'll submit it. That's, because we can do our background check on you. We just collect it, this and that, and that's it.
Okay.
I mean, we're going off your word. I mean, if you check off, because at the top will ask you, you citizen or not. You check yes or you check no. We get registrations come to the mail. Whatever comes through, we accept, and then it's submitted.
We walked out of the office and ultimately didn't submit any application, as doing so would be illegal.
Oh, man. Yeah. Safe and secure elections, huh? Safe and secure. And once again, mind you, with all of this going on, we still won. We still won in 2024. With all of that going on, with Democrats doing all of that, with the propagandist media, Democrats, conspiring with them to brainwash the masses, and these types of operations going on, we still won. Now, just imagine if they weren't able to do this. Just imagine if, this was shut down. Just imagine if their money pot was closed off, USAID, Act Blue. Just imagine what things could actually look like. Just saying. Y'all get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions. I just thought this stuff was quite interesting. Big shout out to these individuals here. I'm going to throw them back up on the screen. Bam. All right. That's where that last video came from that you just saw. And, of course, big shout out to Nick Shirley. Matter of fact, here, let me throw his ad up on the screen right there. Pause if you need to. All right. Big shout out to those brothers, man. Doing some great work. Peace and love. I'm out.